Okay, so I don't know if you've seen this, but Mitch McConnell totally froze during a press conference yesterday. Do I think that this is a big deal? Does Mitch McConnell think that this is a big deal? And do Democrats think that this should be a big deal? I got different answers for all these, and you'll be surprised. My name is Matthew. Welcome to Matthew Land. All right, so a lot of Democrats have come out and said, oh my God, this is a big deal. And okay, I can totally see their point. A lot of Republicans have said, no, this shouldn't be a big deal. And okay, yeah, I can see their point. Now, Mitch McConnell, right after this happened, about 15, 20 minutes later, he came out and tried to finish up his press conference, and he answered a couple of questions. Obviously, the big question was, what happened? Are you okay? And his response was, he joked about it, and he said, you got to watch out for those sandbags. He was referring to when Joe Biden, after he gave the graduation speech at the Air Force Academy, and he shook, I think it was 580 hands. When it was really hot that day, he tripped over a sandbag that was the same color as the stage. And a lot of Republicans were like, holy shit, Joe Biden tripped over this sandbag. He's way too old. Now, Mitch McConnell made light of this. He said, you got to watch out for these sandbags. Now, that's funny. And I think that both Democrats and Republicans should pay attention to what he said. And for a reason that I think that a lot of Democrats and Republicans might be kind of surprised why I think that you'll be surprised that I think you should pay attention to what he said. Now, I've always thought that one of the biggest problems right now in this country, as far as all the lawmakers are concerned, is whataboutism. A lot of people are saying that Joe Biden shouldn't run because his age. And a lot of Democrats are saying, well, what about Donald Trump? He's only like 4 or 8 years younger. He's not much younger. And a lot of Democrats are saying, well, when Republicans were in charge, they didn't let a whole bunch of Democratic bills go through. So what about that? And a lot of Democrats right now with the whole Hunter Biden investigation, they're saying, well, this isn't fair because what about all the investigations that did not happen with all the Trump children? And a lot of Republicans are saying, what about this? And Democrats are saying, what about that? And it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. And with the Trump indictments and all the Trump investigations, the Republicans are coming back saying, well, what about all that? We need to impeach Joe Biden, even though there's really no proof that Joe Biden actually committed any crimes. And I do believe that if there is any evidence that it doesn't matter who you are, if you're Biden, Trump, Obama, Clinton, Bush, anyone, if you committed a crime, me, you, I don't care. If you committed a crime in this country, you should be held accountable. So what about, I don't care. I don't care. I want to get rid of all this whataboutism. I think that Democrats and Republicans shouldn't care about any of this. I think that they should pay attention to what is in the best interest of their constituents and what's in the best interest of this country, and get rid of all this whataboutism. And now what Mitch McConnell did was, I think, amazing. He said, what about, and then he made a joke. What about Joe Biden tripping over those sandbags? What about that? And he made fun of it. What about that? It was no big deal, so this was no big deal. Now, I personally he said that he got really lightheaded, and that's why he sort of froze up and he had to be led away. I personally have gotten really lightheaded, and I've actually had to just take a knee and sit down. Because otherwise, it was sort of like I was going down one way or another. And that's more or less what happened to McConnell. Now, granted, McConnell has about 50 years on me. Well, damn, I'm older than I thought. He's got about 40 years on me. But that really doesn't make any difference. What about what happened to McConnell? What about happened to Biden? They're both old. They're both big leaders. They both have a lot of power in this country. So what about what happened to both of them? What about making a joke about it? What about saying, who cares? What about letting them both lead their caucus, be leaders? What about just letting them be leaders? What about just letting them take things to the finish line? Things that they believe are in the best interest of this country. What about doing that for a change? What about not pushing false agendas? What about creating laws? What about doing what's in the best interest of this country? Instead of pushing forward false narratives, instead of saying, what about what this party did, so we need to go after this party? What about holding both parties accountable? What about doing what's in the best interest of this country? That's what I care about. What about that being what you care about? What about that? That's all I care about. Well, anyway, if you think anything I've said is interesting, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.